Welcome back to the What's Up Eddie channel, Divine Therapy Sessions. And of course, I'm the one and only Eddie. So glad to have you guys back. And these are my Divine Therapy Sessions. And in today's Eddie's Life Hack, lesson number 19, we're going to talk about taking care of the vessel. That vessel being your body. And there's many other things that you need to take care of. But if you're physically not there, how could you be there in any other capacity, right? Because our vessel is what's carrying us on our journey, right? And I like to relate this to a story that when I was overseas, I thought clearly in this aspect, and a lot of people didn't see it the way that I saw it. So I'm in Afghanistan, right? And yeah, sure, like there's a lot of fun memories, right? I remember the mountain ranges, the culture, the beautiful people that are there. I also remember the camaraderie, which was really cool. But there are the hazard parts of being in that area, right? Though it was a peacekeeping mission, there was still IEDs, gunfights, so forth. So what are the two major things when you're overseas that you have to definitely make sure that everything's working right? Well, for me, there's three things. There was my weapon, which was primary, my armor, and then there was my vessel. So it all relates back to the physicality, right? But the major thing to me was my weapon. And I like to relate the weapon to the body. So I was a really exceptional gunner, so I was always the lead gunner. And so if you're the lead in anything, your mission, your responsibilities are a lot more than what the others have, right? Especially because you're the first one going into whatever dynamic that we're going to be going into. So I always ensured on my downtime outside of the missions that we had every day, right? So because sometimes we had anywhere from 3 to 5 missions each day throughout the entire day. So for me, I always, after every single mission, I had a routine. I'd get off, smoke a cigarette, relax, unload my mind, as well as, talk to my friends, then go use the restroom, come back, drink some water, and then after that, I would take apart my whole weapon, get to know my weapon, right? Because it's all energy at the end of the day. Though I couldn't tell you that at the time period, but I can tell you now, I created a bond with the weapon. And I would take it apart and I would clean each piece thoroughly. I'm talking about thorough. Now, most people wouldn't do this. They're like, I only need to clean it once a week, every 2-3 weeks. Some people didn't clean it at all. Now, for me, because I've seen a weapon jam before, right? What is the last thing that you want to be when you're going down the road and your vehicle gets blown up and people start shooting at you and you go to rack your gun back, you pull the trigger and it doesn't work? What do you do then? That is like the biggest fear. And for me, the last thing that I wanted is my 240 Bravo machine gun to jam in the middle of a firefight when I needed to defend not only myself, but a group of people behind me, right? So it seemed like it was like common sense, like logic, but a lot of the times that's not how it works. So the cool part of this story is I actually left, I think around month 7, I went on leave. And as I ended up staying back, it's called Rear D, but as everyone was deployed, I actually got sick, so I got to stay back. And I remember my platoon sergeant and his significant other at that time period were back overseas, and we all went to lunch. And just to talk about, like, just regular old stuff. And I remember them talking about that one day the platoon sergeant was like, all right, everyone take your weapons out. We're going to check them out. And he checks everyone's stuff. and then he sees my weapon right by my bed, because it's, you know, it's just an extra weapon at that time period because I'm not there. And so he's like, well, let's check out Montano's. We all use our last names, right? So he goes up, he takes it apart, and he's like, oh my gosh, dude, this kid kept it clean. It was sparkling clean, like a little bit of oil that I put in there because it needs lubrication, right? But he even wiped the oil, and the oil was clean. And he was like, I remember him telling me, he's like, I've never seen a weapon so clean. And I said, well, the reason why I did that is because I didn't want it to fail me. And at the end of the day, it's not about because my platoon sergeant was going to check it. It's because I didn't want to lose my life in the time period of I have to defend myself, right? Or defend someone else. Like, I need that machine to operate at its full function when it needs to happen, because there's no time period, right, when this can happen. I relate this to the body. So it's as simple as this. Your vessel, and I've known for myself, is that like when my body doesn't feel right, when I'm not putting the right stuff in my body, and I know, you guys, I've put in a variety of bad things in my body, whether that be drugs, alcohol, caffeine, nicotine, soda, you name it. I know what sluggish and low vibrational feels like. And the difference between that as opposed to your greens, your colors, all of the stuff that your body is cherishing, right? Exercise. Breath is life, you guys. Breathing exercises, methods, this stuff, because your body is functioning. Yes, it could function by itself. You have three minds, right? The brain, the heart brain, and the gut brain, and they do function without you consciously having to do it. But wouldn't it be imperative if you were taking care of all three vessels, the mind, body, and the spirit, all at the same time, instead of letting your body have to take care of things? So don't allow your body to, because we all go to the idea that, oh, we're going to be young, or it's not going to get me, I'll wait till I'm sick. Sometimes when you wait, it's too long. You've waited too long. So it's imperative that we take care of our vessel, because our vessel is what's carrying us through the journey. And that's all I wanted to say, is that, like, for me, it relates back to the weapon, because it was so imperative that it works when I need it to work. You know, exercise. Make sure you're feeding it what it needs to be fed. And this works for every dynamic. It's crazy how these lessons bleed into every part of your life, whether that's spiritual, the emotional, the physical. There's so many different ways how this blessing could go into it, right? All right, guys, that's all I got you guys today on that. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I love you guys so much. My audience is growing. I love you guys. Make sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, guys.